Thank you for dropping by at Equity Communities of Practice, the convening place for cross-sector collaboration, community advocacy, and personal development, where development and growth are key to achieving sustainable and effective change. Our mission is to leverage insights gained through ongoing community building to promote health equity across all sectors, including finance, education, healthcare, public health, environmental justice, corporate social responsibility, and more. For more information, visit our website at www.equitycommunitiesofpractice.com. Together, we can make a difference. And now your host, Executive Director, Dr. Harry Pettaway, aka Dr. Harry, the Equity Coach.
Still late with the buttons, huh? Still late with the buttons. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. I'm Dr. Harry, the Equity Coach. You're tired of the same old in your news feed? You feel like you're preaching to the choir. If you feel like the things you have to say aren't getting said to the right people, if you're stuck in silos and you ain't getting anything done, the right hand doesn't know what the left hand's doing, then I invite you to come on over to drop on by to Equity Communities of Practice, where I will help you break your personal algorithms, helping you expand your knowledge base, talk to people that you don't normally talk to, get a different perspective, all those things. And guess what? It'll be fun too. All right. And as always, hey, if you're joining us, we got a lot of love coming from Facebook, even though this was originally designed for LinkedIn. So whichever platform that you are on, please ring the bell, smash that subscribe button. What else do they say? All those things. Just please participate. It makes things a lot more fun. Curious how you're arriving today. Me, I got a little whimsical annoyance, I guess is what I'm going to say. I think I told you all I got a hobby homestead out there, and these deer keep coming to steal my apples for my chickens, and it's becoming quite annoying. And what I noticed is that I started saying, because my knees hurt, I started going out and I go, hee-yah, hee-yah. I have no idea where hee-yah has come from. Some from some Westerns. I don't know if that's like, if all animals know hee-yah, but you know, that's where we're at today. So, you know why we're here? It is the third week. Okay, technically, some of the people counting Social Determinants Health Week are saying this is the second week, but it's the third week that I've been talking about it. And happy to have you here. Happy to say hello to my friends in Michigan. Happy to say hello to my friends across the nation. We are celebrating Social Determinants of Health Month. As always, if you're in another state and you want something like that to go on in your state, drop it in the comments. Say hello. Let me know how things are going. Social determinants of health, economics, education, healthcare, built environment, social context, and we're going to dig in a little bit more. My favorite, the social context. This one, I should have put up a warning for this one. Because my definitions are going to go against the grain a little bit. But guess what? We'll be all right. We will be all right, because it's my show. I don't think this works when I whisper. It's my show, so I can go against the grain if I want to. Get into it. Privilege. No, we're talking about privilege. Depending on who you are, you either love talking about it, hate talking about it, don't ever want to hear that word ever again. But let's dig into a little bit about what it means. Privilege refers to advantages or access to resources, opportunities, and protections that individuals or groups experience due to certain characteristics or circumstances. While commonly associated with race, privilege exists across multiple domains, including education, socioeconomic status, physical ability, gender, geographic location, and more. It operates within the social ecological model, influencing health outcomes at every level, from individual access to opportunities to interpersonal networks, institutional policies, and societal terms. As a social determinant of health, privilege can create pathways to better health outcomes by providing access to quality education, stable employment, safe neighborhoods, and robust healthcare services. However, privilege can also lead to inequities when certain groups disproportionately benefit from systems and resources, limiting access and opportunities for others. Ignoring the concept of privilege within public health efforts risks perpetuating disparities and undermining community-wide progress. Understanding privilege as part of the socio-ecological model, because I hate saying SEM, emphasizes its role in shaping the environments in which individuals live, work, and interact. By addressing how privilege influences access and outcomes, public health initiatives can better foster equity, mutual accountability, and sustainable well-being across all levels of society. Curious to know what you think I might have left out of privilege. Whether you think you have privilege, if you've seen privilege manifested, I'd like to know that too. Please put it in the comments. You know, one of the things that's interesting about the word is that when it's one of those words like a phrase like DEI. We hear privilege, we think we know what it means, right? But I could almost guarantee you, if I said, hey, give me the Webster's, Oxford, whatever definition of privilege for most people that talk about it, they wouldn't be able to give that to you. One of the interesting things for me about privilege is how it's been used in the last 4 years. We often use it in terms of, you hear white privilege. And this is where I might go against the grain and some people aren't going to like me. I cannot stand that phrase. I'm not saying it doesn't exist. What I'm saying is when you try to force that down someone's throat, it's in a different algorithm than yours, right? So what I mean by that is that usually when we talk about things like white privilege, you'll hear it a lot in DEI circles, you'll hear it a lot in health equity circles and things like that. But the people that hear it are ready to hear it, right? They're open to the idea of, well, there's something about someone that gives them a bit of an advantage over somebody else, because we're always talking about disparities. But what I argue with, especially in terms of, when I say break your personal algorithms and trying to learn how to give messaging to people that actually need to hear it, a lot of the people, when they hear the term white privilege, they just tap out. They don't talk to me about it. I don't want to hear about it. It's made up. Interestingly enough, the flip side of that argument sometimes is this concept of DEI hire. You've got some privilege because you're not mainstream, whatever mainstream is, right? Like it's always kind of weird for me about how that kind of plays out. But I have privilege, and I've talked to some of my friends about it, and some of my African American friends from all over the place. And it's interesting because a lot of mine comes from I don't want to say socioeconomic status, because it gives the impression that I'm rich. And that's not what I mean. What I mean is that because of my place in life, I have some options that other people don't have. Like I get to consider things like, which school do I want to go to, because I might be able to pay for it. Recently I had some challenges with my knee, and it was, where do I want to go? How do I navigate the system? And it was actually pretty easy for me. I'm embarrassed to say that with all the heat going around about insurance companies, but other than the idiotic copay recycle every year that I just cannot stand, it was pretty straightforward. Do you take my insurance? Yes. Where can I go? Here's 3 or 4 options. Now, what's interesting is that when I used to work for Medicaid, I understand that that's not the case. Like people will be happy to take my insurance because they get good rates. Sure, we'll get you in as soon as we can. You want to be on a waiting list? That's not that was not going down in Medicaid. So one of the things about privilege that's also interesting for me is that it's tied to so many other things, right? So when you go back and you look at the social ecological model and things like that, you know, it is tied to things like education and stuff like that. And I would argue, even like when we start talking about, you know, class privilege, like, so like if you're in India, we're not going to be talking about white privilege. You're going to be talking about class privilege. Like, what, you know, where do you stand? Classism is a thing. You should learn about it. And I actually think that a lot of our institutional racism in this country, especially as it relates to socioeconomic status, social determinants of health, is related to class, because it was intended to keep people of certain races down. This is not about that though. So I'd love to hear in the comments something different, right? Like, what I want to hear is, when have you been able to flex your privilege, and what was your privilege? Sometimes privilege has to do with power. Are you the boss? Are you in charge? Were you able to leverage something? Were you able to get someone to do something that you normally couldn't? Were you able to walk into a restaurant and do whatever? But let me know. When's the last time you flex your privilege? And with that, when's the next time you can flex your privilege for something good? That's even better. All right. So, as always, I'm inviting you to Equity Communities of Practice. Come break your personal algorithm in 2025. You can join the Social Determinants of Health Challenge, or we have other challenges that are going to be there. We're going to have some watch parties and things like that. Also going to introduce a certification that is pretty dope. There's nothing out there like it. You should come check it out. So come on over to Equity Communities of Practice. You know what I did not say? Man, and it would have had more effect. I wanted to make sure that I gave you the video. So if you stuck around this long, you're actually going to get the QR code for that quote, MC Light. Well, I think you're going to get the QR code for the quote. Maybe you will not. Here. Give me a second. We will make it happen. This is what happens when we're live. All right. There's a quote for MC Light. Cha cha cha. Check it out. Also, if you've got some other dope lyrics that you think apply to health equity, to the way that life is panning out today, how about you let me know? Would love to hear what you have to say. And as always, thank you for dropping by. We will see you tomorrow. And I think tomorrow we might be talking about bureaucracy. I love to get out in all these weird social terms of health. Talk to other people. We're only going to talk about smoking. You can go there and talk about smoking. Everybody knows smoking is bad, right? If you don't, you should know. All right, you all have a great day. Great talking to you.